So we have an exciting show planned for today, and we're kicking things off with some live music. Really excited to check in with Olivia King. She is a singer, a songwriter, dancer, very talented, and URI grad. She's from Warwick, Rhode Island, so I'd like to introduce Olivia King. She's in the house at Go Look Live. So come on in, Olivia.
I'm coming.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Good, so good to see you.
Thank you.
All right, so tell us a little bit about your musical career. You've been going at this for a while, and you do have a new single that you actually just released and getting some pretty good playback.
I know. So that is on Spotify. It's on all major streaming platforms, but I'm super excited. I haven't released a song in like 3 years. I've been working with different companies and just they dragged their feet, unfortunately. So now just totally going independent, doing it myself at my own pace, and I like to work quickly. So I'm super excited to have this out there, and the song's called In My Head. I'm so excited.
Awesome. So tell us about In My Head. Listen to it. You sound phenomenal, but tell us a little bit about the song and really kind of what went into it.
Yeah, so it was actually super simple. I got a call from a songwriter friend of mine. He had this beat that he got from a producer in LA. He's like, Vicodin. That's the producer's name. Like, okay.
Oh, you're like, I don't do drugs.
Yeah. So he's like, I got this producer, Vicodin, that sent me this beat. It kind of sounded like your style. So I was like, okay. So he sent it to me, and I was like, I love it. Let's do it. He's like, can you get in the studio tomorrow? So he lives in Jersey. Okay. I was like, okay. So he's like, I'm going to write to it at work. He's got a day job. Of course, all of us have our day jobs until we really make it. But he's like, all right, I'm going to try to write to it at work. You try to write to it on your way. So I'm in the car writing to it. I'm driving to Jersey, writing to it. He's writing to it. So finally we meet forces later that night, and it just came together so beautifully. It was so easy to do. Like I haven't ever had it be like that. It's usually like you hear Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk. It took him a year, and he kept going back in and tweaking. This one, we literally got in the studio at 7 p.m. and we were done by midnight, and we never went back in and changed a thing. Like it was just. That doesn't happen, but it worked. So. And
you've been getting some good playback. You just released it not too long ago, a week ago, something like that. And I was looking through social media, just at your feed and online, and I saw on Facebook the New York Mets, some of the baseball players for the New York Mets were jamming to In My Head in the locker room, like pre-gaming.
Yeah, it was hysterical. I was sent that yesterday, and it made my whole day turn around. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's so cool to see your song enjoyed by just all different people. I'm usually catering to the younger girl crowd, and then to see like some Mets players in the locker room, I'm like, what the heck is going on? But I'm like, okay, I'll take it. That was awesome. Yeah, my brother actually, he plays for the Marlins. He got drafted.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so he got drafted, and so he's got a few friends, and he was living with one of the Mets players in spring training. They were just kind of working together, and so somehow he must have heard through the grapevine that I released a song and started playing it in their house. And so he's like, one of the Mets players has been Snapchatting me like, Liv, everyone in the house loves your song. I'm like, okay. They're like jamming to it with no shirts on. I'm like, this is weird.
And you're like, well, wait, if you can get Major League Baseball players to Snapchat,
I'll take it. I remember like Carly Rae Jepsen, she had that Call Me Maybe, and it was like the Harvard guys in the bus. That's what made the song take off, because they made a video to it. I'm like, all right, we'll see if this is what takes it off. You never know. But it was super cool.
So how much is social media crucial to your career? Especially, you just said that you're going independent. You know, you were working with labels and that kind of thing, but now you're really going on your own, trying to release a new song. How much do you use social media, and how crucial is it for you?
I use it all day, every day. I'm probably like one of those little kids where their parents yell at them for being on their phones all the time. But I love working, and social media has, enabled me probably a bit too much, but
that's how you get your message across.
Yeah, exactly. So Instagram is my biggest platform, Olivia King Music, and I post on there almost every day. I try to do, some posts on my Instagram story, some kind of live stuff, and that just keeps everyone up to date, and that's how I got my following a little bit of traction underneath me, because I started posting covers and people started liking it, and then I started posting once a week and doing those covers over and over just to show my style and a little bit of diversity in my style. And then once I gained that traction, it was like people were like, okay, what's next? Let's hear some of your stuff. And so finally, once it got to that point, it was like, okay, I'm ready to release my own stuff. So it's awesome.
And that's so true, is people get to see who you are, who you're becoming. Tell us a little bit about some of your influences and really who's inspired you, and kind of what then you're hoping to become as an artist.
Yeah, I mean, some of my influences musically are definitely the Lauryn Hills, the super soulful type artists. Lauryn Hill, she literally had one album and became a legend. It's like, I don't know how that happens, but all hail to the queen. So obviously people like that, and I study people like Beyonce. A big part of my live act is dance, and so I study her. I study different, the Sierras, the Tinashe, all those girls who sing and dance at the same time. So I study them down to just the last drop to see how they do it. Beyonce, she's running on the treadmill and singing. Lady Gaga does the same thing. It's like you have to condition your body to be able to do that. I did, a few years ago, I did Top of the Bay in Warwick, and I had my dancers there, and they're like, can you perform for 4 hours? And I was like,
what?
I was like, sure, well, we could try.
If I stand here the whole time and don't move.
Yeah, so, and that was with dancers, like 2 to 4 dancers every weekend, and that just conditioned my body to be able to handle that, because singing and dancing for 4 hours straight it's a task.
Jeez, yeah. Well, yeah, and I guess, when you get to that superstar level, when people are performing in concerts, that's what you do.
Yeah, and you don't want to be huffing and puffing when you're out there, so you have to condition your body to. It's like, I mean, it sounds stupid, but you have to be somewhat athletic
you do, 100%.
to be able to perform the way a Beyonce does. Like, you have to be in super great shape. Not that I'm in any great shape, but you have to at least be able to hold your own,
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think about it just if you're going for a jog and trying to talk to your friend while you're jogging, you get a side cramp.
Yeah.
So when you're up there performing, you're trying to sing and sound good, trying to sound, like you have a good voice while, doing spin moves and whatever else.
Strategic breathing.
In high heels.
Right?
And not sweating.
It's a task in itself.
My goodness. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of your background, and then we're going to hear you sing, which can't wait to listen to that. Because you've been going at this for a while. You were on The Voice, which was really neat.
Yeah,
you performed.
You
performed locally. You performed in Boston. Tell us just a little bit about some of your background and what's helped you get to this point.
Well, I started when I was about 15, 16, really taking it seriously. I sang in church and stuff when I was younger, but once I hit that 15, 16 mark, I started really getting into the whole performing aspect of it. So I started performing in the local clubs, bars, and I started reaching out to Boston, New York, going a little bit further, and I started getting a little bit of recognition from different people in the industry and trying to reach out and help me. So I've worked with a bunch of different companies, and I've worked with labels before, and like I said, unfortunately, they just weren't moving at the pace that I wanted to, because a lot of labels, they have a bunch of other artists that they need to tend to. It's not just you. Yeah. So now just being able to kind of create my own destiny and being in control of it as an independent artist. You see, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Chance the Rapper, but my boyfriend's wearing his shirt. He's like totally, I'm like, okay, you're not wearing my stuff, you're wearing Chance the Rapper's merchandise. Yeah.
We have to get one of your cat shirts.
Yeah.
Here's one of your cat shirts.
Yeah, here's a cat shirt. But Chance the Rapper, like being an independent artist, seeing him win 3 Grammys this year, it was the best Grammys I've ever watched, because it just gave me so much inspiration, and it just makes me want to go after it even more. Being able to have creative control is a huge thing as an artist, and you hear about people like Pink, for instance. When she came on the scene, R&B was popular, so she had to do R&B, but once she actually got to a level where she could decide for herself, she went that pop rock route, which was her real true self. And so being able to stay true to myself with my music is huge to me. So it's nice now being an independent artist. I can pump things out fast. I can do it when I want, and just give the people what they want. I realized that my target audience was younger girls, and so I've formed these little groups. They call themselves King Squads, and I form them on Instagram.
King Squad, I like it.
And they're like my little focus groups. I talk to them every day and ask them what they want, because that's who I'm catering to. So everything from the merchandise that I sell on my website to my actual clothing line, they are all a part of that. I, from the ground up, ask them, what do you guys want? For instance, also with my music, I said, where do you guys get your new music? And every single one of them said Spotify, so I was like, okay, that's where I'm pushing
100% Spotify. Yeah. All right, well, let's quit talking, because we want to hear you sing, right? So, Olivia King, we're going to have you sing your new single, In My Head. You can get it on Spotify. We can find you in several other places. We'll get to that in a second, but I'm going to gear this up and listen to you sing. I'm going to scoot out of the way so you can scoot over just a sec, just an inch or two, and gear you up.
Can we start from the top?
Is that not the right spot?
Started from the chorus. Let's see if we can rewind.
I was going to say, that doesn't sound like the right place. Is that right?
Yep,
right.
Perfect. It's the first time performing it anywhere, so here we go.
Yay!
You're like a breath of fresh air every time you pass me by. I see stars when you're looking straight into my eyes. Ooh, babe, I was looking for love, but you threaded your way inside. It said do not disturb, but you managed to break the line. Do you stop, but you know you gain control. Cause what you done to me feels good, but you'll never know. You'll never know, huh? You're in my head, you're in my head. I'm trying to shake you off, but I just can't seem to get it. You're in my head, you're in my head, and I get butterflies every time I'm thinking about you. Yeah, I'm thinking about you. Yeah. Turn the music up, feels like I'm on cloud nine. I'm bragging too much, but you help me pass the time. I daydream of you and I can't get enough. It's so hard when you wanna admit you got a crush. Do you stop, but you know you can't control. But look what you've done to me, feels good, but you'll never know. You're in my head, baby, you're in my head. Shake you up, can't seem to get it. You're in my head, you're in my head, and I get butterflies. I'm thinking about you. If you only knew what I do for you, but you don't even have a clue, you don't even have a clue, cause you're all in my head, you're in my head. Shake you up, can't seem to get it. You're in my head, and I get butterflies every time I'm thinking about you. This is where the dancers are coming, right? I'm thinking about you. Thank you. Thank you.
Olivia King. All right.
So
so as we wrap things up, where can people find your music? Where can people find you?
Well, I'm really pushing Spotify, so Olivia King on Spotify you can find In My Head. And then just to follow my journey, I'm the most active on Instagram, and it's Olivia King Music. And across the board, everything is Olivia King Music. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, my actual website, oliviakingmusic.com. Looks like you're bringing in some of my Sugar Ray.
Yeah, because not only are you a super talented singer, but you're also an entrepreneur. So you have this whole background. You started up a boutique, an online boutique, and you have like the cutest stuff. You said this, like all your cat product, you were wearing this in one of your videos, and then people just went crazy. So you're an entrepreneur as well. You have Sugar Rain as your boutique. And it's cute. This shirt is so cute. And you said people just went crazy for cat stuff.
It was, I mean, people, there are crazy cat ladies out there.
Oh, yeah.
And I may be one of them. So I never was a cat person. I was a nanny a few years ago and had this little girl that I took care of, and she felt like my own. Then she moved to Kentucky and I needed something to take care of. So I was like, okay, I need something. Never liked cats. I ended up getting one. And then I was like, all right, let me try to throw something cat related into my boutique. And that's what like went off over Christmas break. I was getting so many orders I couldn't even like keep up with it. It was just a cat face on a sweatshirt. So simple. But everyone was like going nuts over it. I was like, okay.
That's
so then
crazy.
That was the spring edition, the feline myself.
Feline myself. So entrepreneur, and I like all your stuff has little crowns on it. Sugar Rain, King. You said you have the King Squad.
Keep the branding together.
Keep the branding. That's great.
Yeah.
So looking forward to hearing from you. What's coming? You know, like kind of as we wrap things up. What's coming next for you? You're really pushing the single. Like, are you hoping to continue making new music?
Yeah, I'm right in the thick of it right now. I'm in the studio frequently with all different producers, and the plan is to just keep releasing music, and we're going to keep pushing it on Spotify. So every 2 months we're trying to go for a new single, and then in between months a video. We actually just filmed the music video for this song. We did it at a bunch of local places. We did it at Sweet Indulgence in the Patuxent Village. It totally went with my brand, super pink, and it's a whole 50s theme.
That's great.
For the video, so it should be super cool. So that'll be on YouTube hopefully in the beginning of May.
Perfect. Yeah. Olivia King, you can check her out. You know where to find her. We're going to take a quick picture before you go.
Quick selfie.
Quick selfie.